That shit sounded good, whatever the fuck it was.
Nah, drinking water.
Okay, people, what is up? Hello, how's it going? As I'm talking, I rose my fucking voice a little bit. I might have to give me a cough drop in a minute. But what is up? Oh, we're gonna be joined. By the way, okay, now this is a thing twice in a row now.
What's up?
God just joining as we start the show, and I'm starting to feel like this is becoming a sitcom thing where like Kramer comes in and the crowd like
just wide open door.
Yeah.
Bullshit he's in the middle of.
Right, yeah, I'm really starting to think that's it. Like,
Wait, so you're fucking Jerry and I'm Costanza as always.
I wasn't gonna say that.
I was just beating you to the fucking punch.
I was literally gonna say, but you are so fucking Costanza even right now.
I know. I know. Like I don't mind it too because he's fucking funny. But like again, so part of my job, it's basically a long preamble, but there's a lot of basically the patient will end up just watching stuff to pass the time as we're doing whatever we're doing. So usually they put Seinfeld on because who doesn't want to watch Seinfeld? So I'm watching Seinfeld for hours and trying not to laugh because it's fucking hilarious. And I'm seeing all sorts of Costanza bit going, fuck, I am this character. His reactions are the same reactions I would have. Almost like I can predict why he does what he does. Like he'll do what he do, but when he has to explain himself, like I said the same shit he has.
There was an episode that I was watching with 90s because he threw it on there when we were waiting for Ali to come back to finish watching the Ted Lasso show. Go check it out, by the way. It's actually a pretty good show.
Is it?
Yeah, it's actually enjoyable. It does a little bit of what you like, normal day humor. It doesn't have to be that exaggerate with the sex stuff, but they cuss a lot, which is weird. Apparently, the show's not MA, but they say fuck every 5 minutes. It's worse than me. But one of the things that I noticed in one of the episodes, Costanza, I guess, is getting a deal with NBC or some shit. Yeah. He turns it down. It was supposed to be originally for like 10 grand plus or some shit. Like a pretty good deal, especially for the 90s back then. So that's probably like 25, 30 grand nowadays. So he comes back to Jerry like, hey, man, I turned it down. I did exactly what you wanted. And he's like, I didn't want you to do that. You're dumb. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to hold out for something better. Then the episode ends with him holding out for $4 grand. And it has to be split between him and Jerry. So Jerry just looks at him. He goes, so you held out for less money. Yeah. I swear to God, I saw Nick and Diaz there.
Yeah, dude. Like
he means Nick and
Diaz.
Nick and Diaz.
He means me and Nick.
He means my multiple personalities that me and Jet literally like Jet is who Jet's not Jet when she's not on the show. Jet's somebody else.
She's not really Elaine because
that's Brittany.
No, not saying she's Elaine, by the way, though. No, she's not Elaine at all.
No, she has aspects of Elaine. But
no, our
really
other
Elaine.
friend group, our old host from the old days, if you guys know her, shout out to the OGs, Allison Verdun. Now she's definitely Elaine.
Yeah. But anyway, so on this episode though, I don't know if you know this, Ganja, or even you.
I've seen this episode too from this image too. The show about nothing.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually based on the true story. That's how the show actually got picked up. So it's like all that shit about George like being a fucking idiot. That's all Larry David. Like, Seinfeld literally was like, hey man, chill out. Like, stop screaming. Like, you're over here fighting for everything. No one's trying to fight with you. No one's telling you not to put things in there. And he's just arguing like somebody else. You know.
Yeah, fuck you. You're right. It's all about me. But go fuck all y'all.
Also, someone I know that don't get no bitches.
Oh, he does. Well, George gets laid quite a bit actually.
He goes out on a lot of dates.
Yeah,
he goes out on a lot of dates, but he fucks them all up.
Yeah,
really
that's fair.
Even when
and then
good.
I got a friend just like Kramer who's fucking does whatever the fuck he wants, shows up whatever the fuck he wants, and acts like a total asshole all the fucking time.
Dude, there's this one particular thing.
I know 90s.
That's you, motherfucker. You're the closest thing we got to Kramer in this fucking.
Well, the biggest thing I want to say really quick too, because I know people are like, man, we don't hear about fucking Seinfeld. I'm sorry, we'll move on. But like. The thing is, I really want to bring up is that there's one particular thing that it's like I know, and just to put this out here before I say anything, I know it's never happened to you, Alan. Oh, Sponge, what's up? Thank you very much for subscribing to us, man. Really appreciate that. Probably resub because I've seen him subscribe before. But the thing is, though, is like there's this part where George loses his girlfriend and she goes lesbian, and then what happens is the girlfriend's lesbian partner falls in love with Kramer. So George literally just looking at Kramer getting pissed off because he's like, I make them leave and he pulls them back in. Like, and Kramer just walk around all cool and shit like how Ganja would. And I'm just like, I can almost see that happening at some point with you two. Like maybe like you make some girl not like dating and then Ganja like does the opposite. Not that he's trying to, but it just happens because he had the worst luck.
There was an episode we watched with you because you were showing us different episodes one day. And the episode had, I think, Costanza was trying to impress this girl, so he told Jerry not to be himself.
Oh,
and
bro,
that's
by
him
a
not
nightmare
being
for me.
himself, he ends up attracting the girl even more to him. And
Yeah.
bro, I just could feel Alan's hatred boiling.
Oh, I remember that episode. I was mad too because that's a nightmare.
Yeah, dude. Oh god, those episodes are so great. I would like to watch like Seinfeld in the fucking after hours one day, but that might be too much. Brightburn says a lot of shows never start good, stay good, or end good. These days, unless we're talking about the original Daredevil show that's
What?
now on BZ Plus. I
No,
disagree.
the original Daredevil. People complained about that every single like season.
Yeah.
But, like the first season, oh, it didn't have too much of this, didn't have too much of that. Second season, oh, the second half is terrible. Third season, I fucking gave up like 8 episodes in. I'm like, that's just a piece of shit. But people generally enjoyed it. That show was complained about the whole time. Like, there's been very few shows, like you said, that start off good, stay good, and end good. Even in general. Like Game of Thrones, even it took a couple seasons for people to be like, you know what? Hey, let's pay attention to this fucking show.
See, I'm curious about that though. Like, okay, when it comes to like Game of Thrones, in the beginning, was it like gaining new people into it, or was it like because like for me, I remember I didn't hear about it, and then like all of a sudden when I did hear about it, it was like all this fucking history like with the TV show, and I'm like, wow, so. Like, was there nothing going on? And all of a sudden, we got money, so fuck it, dragons.
Well, so by the time you got into it, it was about season 6, season 7, or at least you heard about it. That's when shit was really starting to build up because they're like, hey, we got the end of the horizon. We're building all the shit. The first 3, like honestly, the dragons don't even. Okay, the first 2 seasons, there's no dragons.
Fucking hype train, fucking.
Oh shit, we got a hype train.
Yeah, then Gandra over here.
I don't know why, but all right. So the reason I do a lot of this is one to bring up our own, chat text descriptions. I'm a little bit of a whore like that. Also, two, I guess because I did so many bits in trying to like move our direction of what kind of movies we review. I get a lot of these like, hey, give us 14 and we'll give you 3 gift subs. I was like, shit, fuck yeah, I'll take some gift subs for $14.
That's fucking awesome, man. No, I really appreciate that, dude. Law says I had hope for Community to stay good, and then it took a hard turn.
Yeah, I never watched Community only because every clip I ever saw was the unfunniest white humor I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I felt that way too. But Jeb, weren't you gonna make me watch that show, or maybe did I give up too soon with that or something?
No, we did watch it. We got 4 episodes in. I watched more because my brother used to watch the show, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought it was incredibly funny. It was just something that you would just put on like every now and then you'll walk back in there and go like, interesting. Then kind of walk out and just kind of leave it playing.
But you know what? We're gonna talk about shows more too, by the way. Because Community, yeah, I want to give that another shot just because and I trust you, Jed, and your brother's opinion on those things, but. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you like Friends, I'm sorry, but we can't talk about comedy that much.
Hey.
Friends fucking sucks.
Look,
yeah,
Diaz.
No, I don't want to hear a thing from you. You've been talking shit about Seinfeld
Diaz.
for years, but you like Friends?
Diaz.
What?
I do like the one episode where they get a monkey. He just starts fucking all the furniture in the house.
Yeah, I saw
that's
that
like
one.
the one episode I do like.
Fucking Friends to me is like the only reason anyone likes Friends because they're middle-aged white women. That's the entire demographic of that show.
And they like
no,
Phoebe.
hold on here.
Phoebe's queen.
In defense of Friends, listen.
No.
In defense of Friends, I don't have nothing to say because I've only watched like 2 episodes of Friends.
I see. The thing is, I saw it. I would catch it randomly, just like Seinfeld. I would catch it randomly as it went on television. And except for Chandler and Joey, all the rest of the Friends are unlikable pieces of shit that are not funny at all. Like Ross is the most unfunny, like milk manifesting into a human being I've ever seen. Like, how the fuck did anybody ever enjoy anytime he's ever on screen? Like, again, Joey and Chandler are fucking hilarious. That's it. And it's really very few and far between.
Well, because when you said that the audience, and I mean, granted, this is like one of those, like I want to be Captain Semantics, but I'm going to in like 2 seconds. No, man, like, I remember, this is why, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I was always confused, but I had so many people that worked at the places I worked that loved Friends and Big Bang Theory, and they were young people, and I was like, these jokes are so clean and so tame and so safe that I can only imagine old people would like them, but it's all young people, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are missing out on Everybody Loves Raymond, where it's really just abuse the whole fucking series.
Oh yeah, bro! I was thinking about that literally yesterday. I'm like, they really. I keep forgetting his older brother's name, but they really treat him like shit. Yeah, they treat Robert like shit. I was thinking back, like, wow, they really treated him like.
They shame him for not homosexuality that he doesn't even have, but that actor does.
Dude, like, that episode where you find out why he fucking touches his food to his chin, man, fuck that entire family. I fucking hate that show. Like, I love that show, but I fucking hate everyone on that show.
Oh, lot. Thank you so fucking much.
Okay, so
single, amazing, amazing.
I've never seen it.
And then Jet introduced me to something when we were in Brooklyn, but my girl friends.
Friends.
So he brings up Friends and Living Single. How I Met Your Mother is the better Friends. It's almost the exact same kind of thing. It's just way better because it's way more interesting stories, way more interesting concept, and way better actors. But yeah, that last episode fucking sucks. Holy shit! I've never seen until Game of Thrones came around, but this is Game of Thrones is way fucking worse. But this is fucked up a fucking 9-series arc to end on one of the shittiest episodes I've ever seen. Game of Thrones fucked up so badly that everyone just forgot it existed.
But you want the Game of Thrones? Why are you mad?
Fuck you up. Because that last episode was so fucking stupid.
Oh no, we're on dumbass now.
Why did he roll all this way, Alan?
Fucking, because Alan will get so fucking mad. This dude literally screamed out, and I forgot it was L.A. or Brooklyn, but on the top of his
Brain Stark.
Yeah, god damn, I cannot do that again.
I'm going to write goddamn fucking now, but I fucking hate Brain Stark. That fucking Game of Thrones prequel is coming out. Oh man, I wonder what the fucking viewers are gonna be. Is it gonna be successful because it's on HBO, or are people still mad about Game of Thrones is ending? Because I'll be real, I haven't forgotten about it. I'm still mad.
But really quick, and I'll you can talk about this too if you want to, Alan. But I'm mostly throwing this at Jed and then Ganja because Ganja tries to be black.
What up, homies? I always try to stay trill in these streets, dog.
Stay trill?
But
now it's more like white person pretending to be black.
Yeah, that's what
exactly. Floyd Doozy.
Hey, why you hating on my flow?
Now he's just
thank you very much for the follow, by the way. Appreciate that.
He got it. That's what I was going for.
But the thing is, though, I want to bring this up because, look, this show isn't that great, but it is pretty good. Girlfriends, I like this a lot. Jet showed me this.
It gets better. It gets better as it goes on. Actually,
yeah,
the show honestly is pretty funny as shit.
But the thing is about the show, yeah, of course, start fucking up when
Jet has all these wigs.
But the thing is, though, is what you call it? Hey, not all black women have that's real hair. Fucking content.
No, I've seen Jet with each one of these hairstyles in different wig form.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Well, the thing is,
I'll accept the far right.
The far right, yeah. Well, her hair looks the most less wiggest. That's not the least wiggest.
That looks like she just woke up in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. That's
had to go to the photo shoot. Didn't have time.
Yeah, but what is it though about black sitcoms where I feel and I'm not saying that I love all of them. Oh my god, black people have the best sitcoms, but it's I can name fucking 10 or 15. And half of those people don't even talk about. But yeah, for some reason, Big Bang Theory gets talked about instead of Martin.
My Wife and Kids was the fucking bomb.
Yes.
No one shows no respect to the Wayne brother on that fucking show. Don't get me wrong, it's a little dated for its time, especially for some of its political narratives and cultural shit. But other than that, it was fucking hilarious. The way they treated that daughter was damn near like Meg from Family Guy in live action.
Well, it's probably a lot of the shit talking because that's what you end up getting. A lot of shit talking, got a lot more personal stories. Whereas with almost every white comedy is what crazy shenanigans are we getting into this time?
You always get the weed episode. There's always a weed episode, either where they're kind of pro weed, hey, I'm a cool dad. I used to smoke back during my Public Enemy concerts, but you're a young kid and you shouldn't be doing drugs. That's how they always caveat to that. Hey, I did my shit and I'm cool still. But kids shouldn't do drugs.
It was the time. It was at the time. But yeah, it's just again. A lot of those shows. I've never watched most of those shows because either they weren't on television up where I live, or I just wasn't up at the right time, or whatever. They ended before they even started. But I would always see.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, because I was gonna say because Jet, I know you watch a lot of these, whatever. You're the one who forced me, she fucking put your fucking hands right here, put your eyes.
Stop being racist and watch these shows.
You just put on BT and put your head into the screen. You will watch this shit and you will love it.
Well, I didn't want to watch Fresh Prince because I was that's some hokey, stupid bullshit.
It's actually really good.
It's so good. But
7 episodes in, he started doing the crawl.
No, but Jet, what are your thoughts? As far as why do you think these shows don't get talked about as much? Do you think it's just because that they're signed by BET or whatever? Because back in the day they weren't. But then when they kind of somewhat left syndication, whatever, I think BET is nope, they're all ours. Fuck you guys. Do you think that kind of hurts the shows? Or?
They get talked about. It's just in black circles.
Yeah, but that's fucking ridiculous.
Black people will talk about these shows all the time. If you are with a lot of black people, who grew up watching this stuff, they'll talk about this shit literally all the time. But if you spend a lot of time with white people, whatever, or like a lot of nerdy humor, you'll probably find a lot of people who watch like Friends and The Big Bang Theory and be like, "That show's so funny.
Yeah,
How dare you not
Big
like
Bang
the
Theory's
Big Bang
all
Theory?"
right.
Like bazinga, bazookles.
See, Big Bang Theory, it's safe. It's safer comedy, even with Friends, because there's no black people on that fucking show, so white people think it's safer. But like with Big Bang Theory, it's extremely safe comedy. I watched 5-6 seasons. Then I'm like, oh, these characters aren't growing at all. I'm done.
Yeah,
because I'm like,
Parker's good too, by the way. Sorry, I was just reading the chat, but I thought you were.
The Parkers annoyed the fuck out of me. I can't watch that show.
Bro, no one shows respects to the PJs.
Oh, that was another one too. Yeah. PJ's fucking like someone said, living single.
Oh, and Living Color, man.
Shit.
Jim Carrey is his best in that fucking show.
Yeah, he brought it in that one, dude, big time. Man, Dumma says, did Alan say Big Bang Theory is all right? I'm honestly shocked. Yeah, I'm shocked.
I mean, again, I would go to 35 fucking seasons it went to. To me, it's like when I'm watching a show, especially with one's going for a long time. If I don't see fundamental change like 6-7 years into it, like I remember I watched 6 seasons. I'm like, you know what? It's not the haha, this is the best show ever. It's more like it was enjoyable. 20-minute episodes. They were fun because again, I like comic books. I like a lot of the nerd shit. So I was able to kind of I got a lot of the jokes. But then season 7 happens. I'll never forget. Season 7 happens. 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, these characters haven't grown at all. I'm done. And I literally just never went back. Because I'm like, after 7 seasons, your characters are acting exactly the same. Like, you need to have some sort of change, some sort of fundamental difference, some sort of growth. Like, that's why I like How I Met Your Mother, because the characters grow a lot by the time you get to, you know, the end of their, like, halfway through their run, there are fundamentally different characters. Sure, Ted's the biggest, shallowest piece of shit in the goddamn fucking world, but everyone else around him actually grows a lot. You see, like, Barney trying to get his dad, and you start seeing Marshall and his girlfriend's relationship get very strained, even break up at one point. Like, there's a lot of change. With Big Bang Theory, it's really just the same shit for as many seasons as it ran for.
Yeah, man. But what you call it? Yeah, I love The Living Color. I liked a lot of that shit. Key and Peele's great. But anyways,
Key and Peele I never liked. I'm gonna be real. I never liked Key and Peele. I always felt like they tried way too hard and they ran their jokes into the ground really, really quickly.
Yeah, well, when they would do that where I can't talk. 'Cause I'm about to.
That's only because Alan is.
I'm actually like I don't know if you can tell. Alan
I liked it better when it was called the Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like with Key and Peele, like a lot of people kind of hung on to it or whatever, even though like the jokes a lot of times weren't incredibly funny. It was because they were missing that whole like sketch comedy type show, and just because the Chappelle Show wasn't coming back, so it's just like, oh, we'll get our fix on this.
And they were definitely not bringing Mind of Mencia back.
Oh fuck no.
I actually watched that show.
So did I, and you're a horrible person for watching it, as am I.
Look, man, literally the Chappelle Show was over. We needed something.
And this Mexican, he had that bootleg shit. And that's all I needed.
This one's
you mean
he's not even Mexican? He's white.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Carlos Mencia? Did he just?
Yeah, he's his name is like Ted something, but he's actually like either he's like Guatemalan and white, so he's not even Mexican. So like, there's a joke that Bill Burr did for a little while where he was saying that he's more Mexican than Carlos Mencia, which he is, by the way. Funny enough.
Yeah,
but
Chappelle's not better than the Chappelle Show, but that blows my goddamn mind. That, and you know what ruined my fucking day? Pip My Ride was all fake.
Yeah.
Dude, they never fixed a single proper car. That was all fake.
Well, I mean, it wasn't quotations fake, but the cars definitely didn't fucking run.
Yeah. That's what I mean. But again, like they would get these cars, they put all sorts of crazy bullshit into it. And then it was like, what, a couple of years ago it came out and turns out none of those cars were roadworthy. Cars just melted to the fucking ground. I'm like,
I think someone did some YouTuber that does like car fiction show. He actually went out of his way to find one of those cars from Pit Your Ride and actually make it runnable again for his.
Man, hilarious, dude. I watched that show every time it aired. I loved watching that show. It was so cool, everything they did. To realize it was all fake just kind of broke me a little.
Come on, man! A fucking aquarium in the back. You thought that was legally road safe?
Dude, no.
Yeah, and then not only that, like even if the cars didn't run, it just like you would have to have so much security with that fucking car around to make sure no one steals that shit.
Look. They had at one point, I remember one episode, they wanted to put a flamethrower for the exhaust. But because of the laws, like because laws exist, they weren't allowed to. But like it always seemed like very cool stuff. But turns out it was fake. I was a kid when I was watching it.
But yeah, man.
You know how many PlayStations a car battery could run back in the fucking 90s? Maybe 1.5, sir. They had 5 in an Xbox.
Look, man, I was a kid and that shit looked cool. What were you? 2 years old when you watched that shit?
Floyd Deasy,
I was a strong one.
Floyd Daisy, thank you for being in the chat, by the way, too. This is the first time he's actually been there and talking and whatnot. He says, Key and Peele is better than Chappelle Show. Yes, I'm going to say really quick, because that was another black show I wanted to talk about that I didn't actually watch when it was like a big thing back in the day. But Chappelle's Show, I do like what Jet showed me as far as like Chappelle goes and all that good stuff. And I'll be responding to that, too, in a bit there, Carnage Rage, a.k.a. Mike. But the thing is, man, is Chappelle's stand-up comedy was so, it just really never, like, won me over. Yeah, and then, like, with Key and Peele, it's like, if it didn't hit, whatever, I don't really have anything else to really, like, compare, like, their jokes to. I just have their show and just their skits. Yeah. So that's why I really like their shit more than Chappelle's Show. But when Jet did show me, I was like, okay, I kind of dig this. But I would still rather watch, like, a small little Key and Peele bit than an episode of fucking Chappelle's Show.
Oh, no, there are
I don't know. Like, like, literally the whole Charlie Murphy stuff.
Oh, bro, the fact that that's a real story
is better than the entirety of Key.
No. The best for me, my favorite Chappelle skit of all time is the Sam Jackson beer. Nothing is topping that one for me.
You might slap a motherfucker or two.
Oh man, and your boy Bill Burr's in there too before he went bald.
My favorite one was the one where they played the Kali monologue song. And he's got like a white girl dressed in like what the early 2000s pop outfit was, and she's like doing like the rave dancing and shit. And he's getting all disgusted and shit. And he kicks her out. He's like, man, she's not even getting my penis hard. He picks up this black girl and she started twerking and shit. And he's all bopping along and shit, just enjoying his best life. And he just looks over, hey, you way better than the girl I had there last time. Oh, there she goes. And he cuts to like a third person perspective of the car, and he runs into a puddle and just soaks her.
Yeah.
I was like 12. I laughed my fucking ass off. And it's only because that evil ass laugh he does at the end when they cut to him.
Goddamn, man.
Fucking Wu-Tang Financial.
Oh, yeah.
Or the shit.
Hey, they will help my credit card.
Wayne Brady.
Does Ray Brady gonna have to choke him? They basically just ate fucking Training Day, but with Wayne Brady.
Yeah, dude. God, I fucking like
that's
that.
like, all right, Wayne Brady is like for our circle of friends, and if you people don't in the chat don't know, we have this really like soft-spoken, very kind of nice guy friend named Trey Cooper. If you ever had the pleasure to meet him, he's actually a really cool dude. But he kind of has that Wayne Brady attitude, if you know what I'm saying. And like it'll be like we went and visited him.
It's just him and me, and
we found out he's like a meth dealer and shit.
What is going on?
And like it's a whole 24-hour ride with him.
Sons,
I would blow my fucking mind too. I would be
mamas,
afraid
daddies,
for the
everybody out there. Mamas, mamas.
Hold up,
How y'all
I
doing?
legitimately, except for the Aaron, like the teacher that can't pronounce people's names, that's the only skit because I lived that. My last name is impronounceable, so I've lived through that shit. I found that kind of funny. But everything else, I'm like the whole bitch skit. I'm like that got old in 2 seconds, but barely goes on for like 5 minutes.
You never been in a relationship where you had to be secret with that with the homies?
By the way, people, just so you know, so no one's confused, but they didn't hear it. But for some reason, some random Twitch fucking email that I had open just randomly clicked on the Double Toaster stream. So while Ganja was talking, Corey's like, "What's up? Oh yeah!" Like it's almost like Corey was laughing at what Ganja was saying. Like Ganja was saying the funniest shit in the world. So my bad. But you know, at least people. I mean, if
are you trying to say that I don't make Corey laugh? Fuck you.
Yes.
I mean, you could.
That's exactly. No, don't give him that hope.
Fucking oh, you would make him laugh a lot more than some of the other fucking people he's had on there recently.
Fair.
But
I also got all my hair.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn.
Well, that just knows.
Why am I saying damn? I don't want to fucking make more jokes than you about that shit.
I don't want to make fun of anybody.
At least when you comb, you go down.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Alan. Every time we have post shows or pre-shows, y'all, he got the best jokes. Finally, we caught one live on air like Bigfoot.
That's fucking great. Oh,
it'll never happen
you,
again.
boy.
I'm just laughing because I was really clever, but I'm not like not for the fans or people watching,
why don't you just look up to God for a second?
for God, because I'm like, don't put this shit on me like it's my fault and I get some karma. Like I made fun of a bunch of fat kids and became fat. I don't want to be making fun of like I made fun of old people and I'm old now.
You make fun of me constantly. You're not gonna get short.
Well, I'm gonna get short. Don't worry.
I'm about to say you're not gonna get shorter anytime soon.
You might start sucking dick.
Yeah. Sorry.
Have pride, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Man, June is a great time.
My friends, y'all. All of them, my friends.
We're your closest friends.
Good
We're your down friend. We're the friends that when you are on heroin, we will take you to rehab. I mean, I will. Nick probably just like send letters and shit.
No, we should take me to rehab. We're also taking you to rehab too. You have a problem.
Yeah,
I
how
won't
the
go.
fuck do you two not go to rehab together, Gandra? Like what?
Because they don't.
Hey,
they
it's
won't
like
help either
John
one of us.
Knoxville and Steve-O. They didn't go together.
That's what I
that's
mean.
good.
It is. Oh God, so you're Steve. I'm Johnny Knoxville. God,
No, it's the other way around, dog.
I'm not Steve-O.
The way you were at EDC, you were definitely Steve-O, shirtless and
Oh.
all.
Jesus
You're
Christ, I don't
you're
even
eating
remember that
poop?
part.
He almost did.
No. What?
Well,
He
I'll be
did
honest.
it. I'm just
believe
gonna
you.
leave it out there though. Like he possibly could have. You never know.
Any fucking way. We got reviews to do.
We do got reviews to do. Thank you. I was gonna find another segue and make fun of you more, but
Fuck that.
I would rather just do the fucking review now. So thank you.
I would say he has a lot of hate that flows through him.
Oh yes, people. We're gonna talk about this now, man. I'm gonna show an image, and if you say spoilers, it's because you're stupid.
Gay.
Fuck?
Darth Vader's theme.
I hate you.
Oh,
It's some
never
nerdy
mind.
shit. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here.
We're about to review. We're about to review
Fuck
Star
off.
Wars. Go fuck yourself. You ain't above this shit.
Fucking nerd.
You're a nerd.
You're a nerd.
I'm sure if I was humming Stone Cold or The Undertaker's theme, you'd be like, Stone Cold.
Oh, you did my own joke against me, bitch.
Yeah. How does it feel?
Yeah, I feel it's kind of like I'm just glad you paid enough attention to get my jokes like that. It's pretty good. People.
I actually ignore
This
it
is-
at all times.
Yeah, whatever, bitch. So this is episode 3 of Obi Wan Kenobi. Oh, look at my voice starting to go away again. That's great.
Good.
But no,
Peace
dude.
out, y'all.
Well, you get your ass back though for the next one.
I'll be
He's
here.
already gone.
I'm just on the side.
Okay.
I'm surprised you haven't changed your fucking thing since the Out Cold review.
I'm gonna put this in her nose like this.
Based on that angle, you'd be poking her in the eye.
No, yeah, I didn't think about that. Anyways, look, so I'm gonna be honest. This episode very, very empty because they knew what they were doing. They're like, the last 2 episodes, we're building out towards something. We're gonna give the fans what they fucking want, and this is one simple premise. We don't have to go on about it because this is a recap. We're just giving our fucking opinion. Once upon a time, Darth Vader wants to get the fucking Jedi. It's been causing some shit. He hears that there's a Jedi over there, and he's like, it's probably Obi Wan Kenobi. He goes over there. He does Darth Vader shit. The end. I fucking loved this.
Yes.
I loved it.
I loved every second of this fucking episode
Oh.
from the very beginning because I wasn't sure if they were going to get Darth Vader in this episode. I figured at some point they were going to, but to me, it's just everything else with the way they're that's kind of like I've always hated the whole like they almost every trope in here they managed to somehow fix. Like I've always hated, hey, go meet somebody in the middle of nowhere. We went there, no one's there. And the person usually just magically shows up. This day, it's like, fuck it, let's get the fuck out of here. We're not gonna sit here in an empty field for 10 fucking minutes. They meet up with the fucking first guy that meets them, and he might as well have a fucking Nazi flag on the back of his goddamn car. Because as soon as he fucking sees that shit, everyone's like, fuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I gonna do? And just his discourse with Leia was really interesting. Him meeting up with people in the Empire that are like, hey, at first these guys are good, but then I realized they're fucking Nazis. And just the progression it kept going. When Darth Vader shows up, I was like, oh shit, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? He just walks down the street and just like Mr. Stealer Girls starts nabbing out of their fucking houses and just killing them for fun. Like he's just murdering people left and
The way
fucking right. I'm
he
like,
killed
yo.
someone's dad was fucked.
He was a
up.
kid, bro. He just straight up kills a kid.
Oh, I thought he killed the dad.
He
and not
fucks the
kid.
dad up, but I think he kills both, but he also kills the kid. Like he straight up kills the kid, like breaks his fucking head.
Oh, okay. If anyone remembers that differently, let me know because maybe I didn't see anything, but I could have sworn because I even like wrote a note down like, dude, the coolest part is when he, because like one thing I thought too is that he was gonna have a rule like not to kill kids. That's why I thought.
Man,
Darth
episode 3,
He does not contain that rule at all.
Yeah.
bro, dude, episode 3, motherfucker walks into a room of younglings and pulls out his lightsaber, man. Fuck them kids as a villain. But even then, it's just like, because when you watch something like this, you're like, okay, we know that this is Kenobi. We know that they meet again eventually at some point. Maybe they're going to meet again in this series, but we know for a fact they meet each other again. And the next time they meet, Darth Vader fucking kills him. But we have to know that this is the first time they're seeing each other after episode 3. So there has to be some sort of like animosity. There has to be something that these characters have to do before we get to the actual ending.
Yeah.
And seeing what they did, like when he force chokes him, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for someone to come in and save him or whatever. Nah, he's just choking him for a good while. Sets the floor on fire, just watches the motherfucker burn.
Well, more than watches, he pulls him down and he's just like,
Mhm.
like this is the floor right here, guys. Like my phone, and he just goes like, you get some of that shit, you motherfucker. Fuck you.
Let
and
me
I'm
make
like,
burger
wow.
patties for y'all, just cooking that shit.
Yo, Ganja, you know that back in the day, like in street fights, like one of the when you know something's for real and serious is when someone grabs someone's head and squishes it into the fucking
Yeah.
gravel like you're making a burger. Like I've seen that shit happen like 5 fucking times. And
My favorite was not Not only that, you can see the damage on his side from him being
Yeah.
constantly dragged into the fire.
Yeah.
They didn't do that bullshit like, oh, it's just a little burnt. Nah, that he's got
Yeah,
gravel
fucked up.
marks. He's like got sand up in there and shit. Like it shows like, yeah, that's a crispy Kenobi right there.
Yeah, it
Crispy
makes
Kenobi.
and it makes a lot of sense for the character because this is the first time he's seeing it. He's literally has his like fucking house on the place he became Darth Vader with the fucking lava everywhere. And it's like, yeah, we know as an audience member, we know Kenobi's not going to die, but he's sure shit going to fucking suffer in the meantime. And it makes sense. And people were like, it's like, I can't believe he didn't just force pull him back. It's like, well, he doesn't want to kill him. He wants him to suffer. So he's just going to be like, hey, fuck it. I'll see you again, motherfucker.
Really, if you asked that question, you weren't watching. Like the guy, he's choking him. He could have broke his neck. It's Darth Vader. He's got a lot of powers. He chose to kebab him for a little bit. You don't understand. It was more malice to just kill this bitch.
And I'm glad they didn't do this long thing of you hurt me, Padme. It's like, I just want to fuck you up. Time to burn, bitch. And again, very simple, very to the point. I like that. I even love their lightsaber battle. It was like, oh, the choreography. You guys, there are so many different layers to choreography, but you could see two different fight styles in there. The motherfucker who's just baseball batting down because he is fucking powerful as hell, and the person who barely hasn't held a lightsaber in 10 fucking years. This is not a fucking do that. How many of you ever read a bike in the last 10 years? They're gonna be fucking up.
No, let's be honest. They kind of got to show the I would say the progression, but it's not really progression for Obi-Wan. It's more of the degression of him either being disconnected from the Force or getting older. Where because of Vader now is about like I think 50% machine, if not 25%, not 25% more of that.
Yeah.
It has to show that Obi-Wan's getting older, he's getting weaker, while Vader at this time at the height of the Empire is stronger than he is.
And also, I want to say to that point, because I know that you guys are going to go back and forth on that a little bit, because you guys are probably in agreement or whatever. But like, I want to put out here, just so LaCroix knows he's not alone. I do think that fight scene was pretty shitty with the lightsabers. I think that all the lightsaber battles are dumb except for Episode 3 of like the actual movie series. That whole movie is fucking great. Alan brought that up the other day with the Anakin versus Obi-Wan and that thing.
Yeah, that's the best lightsaber fight in the entire franchise.
And then also too the fucking Darth Maul stuff. I thought that was really cool in the other movie that came before. So, that's my opinion on that. Now on this though, the one thing I will say, because and I'll give Alan a little bit more credit too, as far as the choreography thing that people don't understand sometimes is like, I think the scene sucked. And I'm not going to make myself believe that it was cool just because there's a good story, because there is a good story behind it. There is a lot of story to the fighting, but it was boring visually to see. But they're not making that movie for you right now, guys. It's a show. There's a story being told and a narrative being built through all these episodes. So they're not trying to be flashy and badass. Darth Vader is showing his oppressive strength, saying "motherfucker, revenge," and Obi-Wan Kenobi is trying his best to fucking be like, "Dude, stop! Like, I don't want to fucking do this," Like,
because again, that's his apprentice. That's his basically. It was his friend, was his brother, who he thought died. Yeah, and again, disconnected from the Force, hasn't held a lightsaber in a decade. And it's like from a choreography standpoint, was it a little choppy? Sure. From a technical standpoint, yeah. But again, there's more to choreography than necessarily just the camera work. That's a foundation of it, but there's also stuff there. Go look at fucking the season 1 of Iron Fist. All the camera work is fine, but everything else is fucking awful.
Yeah, they'll have the best fight scenes ever, but you don't care because it's garbage.
Yeah, and with this, like, it actually made a lot of sense. Like, dude, this isn't gonna be the same thing as it was in Episode 3. Darth Vader isn't gonna start doing fucking kick flips and shit like that. He's, again, like I've said, 50-60% machine. He's using one hand. You see the little image. He's using one hand, and he's just like, I'm not gonna use any techniques because I don't have the mobility anymore, because he's lost all of his fucking limbs. I'm just going to put so much force into every strike. It's the equivalent of him fighting a giant right now. Whereas Kenobi, he's used to the whole jumping and flipping, but this guy's so strong. Every hit is taking off like so much staggering. He can barely move. That's why he tries to run away. And Darth Vader's like, no, I fucking got you, bro.
Yeah. But I'm going to wrap things up in a sense, because like that's all that happens really. It's just this. And it was a really, really good paced episode to focus so much on Darth Vader and his fucking like damage that he was doing and everything too. This is my favorite episode yet, but it's more just typical Star Wars shit, and that's fine. But there is gonna be people that are gonna hate this. If you are a person who did not like Luke Skywalker coming back to Mandalorian or whatever, you're gonna kind of hate this episode, or you're gonna pretend you hate it. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna pretend to hate it. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you're not gonna like it. And if you are an actual Star Wars fan, you might dig it because there's characters that are done better here than they were, and hours of entertainment in the original series. So, yeah, this for me, 4 out of 5. I loved it. I fucking loved it. But Ganja, what would you rate this?
Honestly, 4 out of 5. I haven't really seen anything that really blew my mind yet, but the fact that we even got this close to the Darth Vader battle, like by episode 3, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do forward, and I'm very interested in the other side character, the Inquisitor, and see what her whole goal is, what she's trying to do. I personally think she's trying to make it to where she captures Obi Wan Kenobi, and she's trying to become the apprentice to the Emperor himself, and like supersede Darth Vader and everything. But that's my only fan theory. But I'm interested, and I can't wait for fucking Wednesday.
Yeah, and by the way, Gene, I know, man. I just haven't been able to get to the
Yeah.
store. I have not
You're
been able to get to the
struggling,
store.
buddy. I can hear it.
Oh, dude. No, by the way, earlier I had
Like
to throw
you
up.
sound like a completely different podcast. I can't put my name on it, but you have the voice of a
Please
completely
do
different
not
podcast.
say Carlisle or Christian. Please don't.
Actually,
Not
no,
really.
I wasn't thinking about them at all.
Okay. Because every time someone sounds a little bit like, then it all comes out. But I don't know. I was gonna say more words, but anything to move on to Alan. Alan, what do you think? I'm sorry, I feel like shit.
I like this show. I'm really sick of Star Wars fans where you guys will bitch about everything and then 10 years later you'll suddenly do the deep analysis that people are doing now. And as soon as someone does some deep analysis now, suddenly it's like, no, that's actually not what it is. No, this is the worst character ever. It's like they're so quick to reactionary to every single thing that happens that they don't stop for a second and think like, hey, what's actually happening in the show? This is, to me, this is my kind of sci-fi. Very slow burn. To me, there's a fuck ton of going on with every single character, and I like the world building they're doing. Like, again, the prequels are very action packed, and they also had a decent story when they wanted to. This, to me, yeah, there's not as much action as usually this kind of stuff that I usually like, but there's enough story in there. There's enough interesting sci-fi. We're going to also, dude, in everything, okay, get up Tatooine. They're on Tatooine for one episode, and then every single fucking episode since, they've been on different fucking areas all across the galaxy. But nobody brings that up. They don't bring up when the show does good shit, but they'll make sure to fucking shed on it when it doesn't. It's not the perfected thing from some fucking ass book that no one fucking read. Don't do shout out because it's part of LucasArts. Like, it's so infuriating how much they are that I honestly don't even look at the internet. Did I like it? Yeah, I fucking love this fucking episode. I fucking loved everything about the episode. To me, Darth Vader, I'm like, okay, cool. Darth Vader to me has never really been that menacing, except for that one scene in Rogue One and here. Like, in fucking Empire, he was okay. But like to me, it's like everything afterwards, he's actually showcased how menacing and staggering, and from what people talk about in the comics. But I'm so sick of seeing every fucking comment every single time they show a picture of Obi-Wan. Everyone just talking about, oh, it destroys canon, stuff like that. It's like it does. You don't know it destroys canon. And just because something didn't happen in the original trilogy doesn't mean it never happened. I'm so sick of that fucking bullshit where it didn't happen in these 3 movies in the fucking 70s, therefore it never happened. That's not how anything fucking works. This galaxy is larger than a fucking apartment building where only 5 people do anything. It's like shit happens. And the moment anytime someone tries to do something a little bit different, they actually do that, but they'll praise fucking Last Jedi because they think it did something different. Fuck off. It's this fucking recency bias. When it comes to Star Wars, they hate it immediately, give it a couple of weeks, and then suddenly they love it. It's like, it's fucking ridiculous. I can't wait to see what happens next episode. If Darth Vader never comes back, hey, I get it. What I'm thinking is going to happen, my prediction is, I'm not sure if Darth Vader is going to come back. I think he's going to fuck with him. It's like, hey, I'll see you again, and the again will be the next time when he fucking kills him. I think they're going to build up Third Sister to be basically, that's where you're going to get your more action-packed lightsaber fights, because clearly she can jump, she's in tune with the Force, and you're going to see that more, actual like choreography with the jumping and the Force powers that people like from Star Wars. I think that's how it's really going to go, but I'm not sure. I honestly predict Darth Vader's not coming back, but I'm open to being wrong. This to me was, I'm going to give it lower than you guys, 3.5, only because I just wish that, I either wish Darth Vader didn't show up in this episode and they just gave him a whole episode, or like I wish they gave Darth Vader a whole episode. This idea that they did half of it really felt like they could have done so much more if they had them talk a little bit more, or they had the fight go on a little bit longer, or have the torture sequence go on a little bit more. I wanted them to focus the whole episode on Darth Vader, not just split episode 3 into Obi-Wan and Leia, and then Darth Vader and Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I don't know. I disagree with you, but I mean, okay. Like, we'll see what happens, though. I do hope he comes back, so, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
That. But, moving on. This is a movie we just watched.
Oh, fuck.
This movie
I fucking hate this movie.
Was requested through a bit bounty by Gene Jeter. And if you guys would like to do the same, put a bounty in ahead of a movie for us to review, you can do so by sharing 500 bits in the chat for a movie, or 1,500 for a 22-episode or less season of a TV series, cartoon, anime, limited series, or whatever you do so, please. I gotta tell you, the way this movie starts, I mean, usually I talk about like what I expect of a movie like this, especially with Big Bounty. Because I'm like, oh well, they probably made us want to watch this because it's either bad or there's something to really react to or whatever. This I was like kind of reluctant. Like it's called Master. There's a black girl on the thing. I got really bad feelings about this. Like,
Bro, from the title alone, you're just like, oh, dude, the first 10 minutes of this, you're just like, oh no. We're all about like racing. Basically, girl shows up to the school that's primarily focused on like critical race theory and anything just dealing with look at the more racial tones of all sorts of media, whatever the fuck. So they put this black girl in a room full of white women, and suddenly that's basically most of the fucking movie. And the main actress, she shows up and she goes, yeah, all this bullshit happened. They lynched the person and all this. And by the way, I'm the master. You're like, ooh, oh god, okay, this isn't going well. And that's the whole movie, by the way, because the movie just jumps from random bullshit of we're gonna focus on race, and then the main character, who's the biggest piece of shit in the goddamn fucking world, because she just acts out at every possible opportunity, and it ends up just going. It's so disjointed. That's why this review is probably gonna be very disjointed, because it doesn't know what it wants to be. Is it supposed to be discussing?
Oh, I disagree heavily. I know. It definitely knows what it wants to be. And granted, you can keep going. Cause sorry for interrupting, but I think it's gonna be an interesting thing about this, because I think we all feel the same way about this movie, but we all think differently still. Like this is gonna be a very, very interesting review. But continue on in the sense of like, why do you think that they don't understand what they're trying to do?
Because at first, like, you read the description and it's always about racism. I'm like, okay, cool. And you see the movie, like, okay, it's going to be a situation where the girl has to deal with racism in the school. I'm like, okay, kind of. But then they cut to the main actress, who I keep forgetting her name, and she's going through some psychological, she's going through some psychological bullshit. While the main character, Jasmine, is also dealing with some other bullshit. And it's like, well, we're going to focus on the fact that there's so much racism here. And that's technically what we want to be part of the movie, but there's also this underlying layer of like supernatural shit, but it's not really supernatural. It's like, it just jumps back and forth.
Okay, so I guess I probably should have started, because I don't want to like do spoilers really that much.
Because
the whole movie, because the problem with the movie is that it literally, and since you said it, now we are going to do spoilers, because now I get to really be straight about how I feel about like the overall thing. But we'll say that for later on. Firstly, Jet, I just want to ask you, as a black girl, if you were in a situation, Jet, where you were guaranteed that every dream you ever had was going to come true if you go to a school that's full of white people and you're not allowed to tour the place first, would you still go to that school, Jet?
See, when it comes to like, whenever we review movies like this, I always got to get ready for when you're going to say like, let's go to Jet as a black person. And I'm just like, God, fucking. But if you want my real answer, absolutely the fuck not. I saw, like, it took 2 seconds of me looking at how this fucking old ass, fucking racist ass, dark ass, the dorms look like something out of the fucking 800s. Hell no, you couldn't pay me.
Because the reason
to go to a school like this.
Because Bob, I know that makes you mad, but the reason why I was asking that specifically too is because you are somebody who still has a lot of dreams and stuff. Not anything to be like having to do with this fucking movie.
Fuck us, apparently.
Motherfucker got dreams and aspirations and shit still.
You mean to tell me, Jet, you don't want to do this podcast forever?
Well, no, but what I'm trying to say essentially
Dude,
is
motherfucker, I can become president. I'll still be here.
Oh man, see, this is 2022. I insulted everybody in the call by saying a good thing about somebody. What the fuck? But no, dude, no. It's just like
no
what I
dream
mean.
Having motherfuckers.
Apparently not.
I don't want to go into a big old thing, but it's like you're doing like lots of like testing. You're going to be getting like these new jobs. You're going to be doing all this stuff, and Alan's already done with college. Ganja, look, now. I know this won't insult you, but Ganja does not give a fuck. Okay.
No fucks given.
No fucks. I don't feel bad for saying that at all. This is me being honest. But the thing is, though, it's like I'm wondering, like, what would be worth dealing with this? And I know for sure you wouldn't be in this particular place, but it's like for me, I can't imagine doing this either. And here's where I'm really gonna be like connecting this with some other bullshit. Get Out. And I'm comparing this to Get Out because obviously this movie said, oh, look what they did. Oh, black issues and we're going to, white people are evil, blah, blah. And it just took it and ran with it like every other lazy fucking person who wants to, like, get black audiences because they don't actually know what black audiences really actually want. So, in Get Out, the only thing that destroys and crumbles that fucking movie for me is essentially, fuck my throat. It's essentially like, or not Jordan Peele, but what's the fucking Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah, Kablua, whatever the fuck his name is. That dude literally like should have left as soon as that movie started. That movie should have lasted 5 seconds because he almost gets in trouble with the cops because of that fucking white girl. The white girl is boring as fuck. She's not that fucking pretty, even though that's subjective. Goes to the house, finds out her fucking parents are like racist, and they technically got slaves. Why the fuck did this girl not? And Jess said this when watching the movie. Why didn't she go there and look at the fucking school before she like got there? No one does, like, I mean, with the internet being around and shit, like, you mean to tell me that she didn't know that there was some kind of ghost story going on, some folklore?
Y'all don't understand. It was a free ass ride.
Well, again, I also don't think they do random, hey, we lynch/sacrifice people 2 feet to the left. So it's like,
I
if I just...
I say more on the lines of just like, bitch, you really want me going to this ugly ass fucking school where like
Gotcha.
the majority of people not only are white, but it's just like that place is falling the fuck apart. Like you could not pay me to go there. That shit. Like even if there weren't like fucking stories about lynching or whatever, I probably would have came up with some on my fucking own by how the fuck that place
Or you would have
looks.
literally went over there and saw there's a bunch of white kids, and like I could have no one to have anything in common with, so I'm just not gonna fucking be here. Like,
But even if
I know
even if-
I know people in the back are basically like fucking sewing fucking what is fucking those flags shit. Those racist ass flags in the
Confederate
fucking
flags?
back and shit.
Confederate flag,
Yeah, I don't
Nazi
know.
flags, Patriot front
But
flag.
it's weird because like
All of the above.
it's not just oh they're white people so we're making fun of the movie. They're stereotypical white people too,
yeah.
where they're just basically like doing whatever it takes just to keep surface level. Like because there's the one conversation where they're like trying to give someone tenure and it's like it's not a right, it's a right, no sorry, it's not a right, it's a privilege or whatever the fuck. And you have this basically I've been calling her Karen just because I don't fucking remember what the goddamn woman's name was, and she's basically arguing this kind of sense of basically making the only other black person in the entire tenure of teachers basically have to fucking bow down to the white man. It's like as surface level is this movie has no depth as much as it pretends to. It has no depth. And it's everything is fucking surface level. And the main character is kind of an asshole and unlikable to the extent where she basically she basically hits on some dude and makes out with him even though she knows her roommate is with him. It's like, okay, what? Like
Oh
character was
wow, I was
yeah, they were
wondering that.
together. I was like, oh, maybe he put the booze on her. No, she was like totally like, yeah, fuck, I don't give a shit about this random person. And hey, you don't like your fucking roommate.
No,
That's
but
fucking
that
fair.
roommate was saying that she was gonna kill her and shit too. Right?
Or some, yeah, it's like they did that because again, when this movie doesn't want to just beat you over the head with this very simple, oh hey, you know, the white fucking genocide shit. It basically just goes, hey, we're gonna scare you, I think, by doing some sort of ghost bullshit that never goes
happens.
anywhere.
Yeah.
The ending of this
Yeah.
movie, oh my god, the ending of this movie is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, but go ahead, Jet.
Yeah, that's my main problem with the movie. Like, it's just like, I feel like it sets itself up for being like something completely different. Like, this technically is a horror, I guess, but it's just like you're waiting for it and you're waiting for it, and then it doesn't come. It's just like, okay, so that doesn't explain this part, this part, and this part. So, was it actually there? And it's just like they set it up to where it's just like, okay, something could probably be happening. And then they just like, yo, anyway, you really wondered about that, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, and then like, so here's the biggest thing about me too is the fact that like this movie being called Master, I think fucked with a little bit of what I was trying to assume what the movie was going to be about. So I was kind of like, all right, do the thing you're gonna do, and then I was so distracted by do that thing you're gonna do that it just didn't do that thing, and I was like, ooh, now I'm interested because now there's a horror movie, blah blah. But Ganja, I'll ask you, and then I'll say what I thought. But Ganja, what did you think this movie was going to be about, just based on the title and just like how the beginning started?
Well, to be honest with you, I thought I was watching a completely different fucking movie title. I went into this thinking I was watching This Is the Skin We Live In, so I was pretty much on board with what's going on.
Did
Now,
you
if I
catch
knew
the
the
Nick
fucking
and forgot how to read?
No, if I knew the title was fucking Master, I would have been thoroughly confused why we're watching this. And of all the like on the nose, like heavily implied racism, because at least The Skin I Live In, I thought I was like, oh, this is like experience from her perspective. This is like, oh, she's also a professor too. She deals with academic racism. And then you got this whole weird storyline of this other girl that may or may not be a person of color at some point in the film. I thought that shit was like all wrapped up to the title. Then I found out it's Masters, and I was thoroughly confused afterwards.
Dude, I laughed so hard when I read that earlier because I was like, dude, like this movie would do great with that title. Like that title fits this movie really fucking
Yeah,
well.
a little bit. It
Yeah.
fits a lot more. That stupid subplot with the basically how in the movie is
Rachel
the
Dolezal.
dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. Like, you literally take the word of one person and say, "Oh, fuck it, that's all the information I need. I'm not gonna do any more research."
Oh, and
Hey.
I love how you can disguise yourself as a black person. Hey guys, you ready? Gin and juice. All black
I'm
people
sorry,
like
No,
this
so
shit.
they don't actually explain that either. That literally goes nowhere. So we don't actually fucking know because the way she was acting, it's just like, okay.
She okay, I swear to fucking God, don't watch this fucking movie. If you're gonna watch this movie, then go and waste an hour and a half. By the way, this movie's under 2 hours, thank fucking God. This movie fucking basically the end of the fucking movie, because this is how the fucking movie ends, and it's not some big climactic thing. It literally just gets brought up and the movie literally cuts the credits. I actually was like, that's the end of the movie? No, that can't be the end. Basically, what happens is one of the fucking people that she's trying to get as 10 years, another person of color, turns out she bumps into her mom, who's like this fucking priestess or a nun or some shit. He says, no, she's not black, she's not black. And the main character, or one of the main characters, I don't fucking know, she immediately believes her without any sort of research, calls her out in front of the rest of the faculty, and they're just yelling at the faculty saying the only reason you gave her 10 years because of some fucking, just because you felt bad or whatever the fuck the reason was. And she starts yelling at her and starts explaining like all the bullshit with her mom, and then just apparently that ends up being the situation where she did have a black dad and her mom told her, oh, that's bad, whatever, ignore that shit. And we never see any resolution because they never go deeper into it.
Yeah.
She never really apologizes, and the movie just literally ends.
And this is the greatest part. This is the greatest part. Is like, as much as I fucking don't like this movie, it gets points above Get Out because she got out. She did what when everybody.
I'm gonna call you.
I'm not
out
giving
for this.
points
It's just
to
like,
this movie.
Because
I'm gonna call you out because every time you bring up Get Out, you say, "But she got out." Like, what are you talking about? He got out at the end. What do you mean?
No.
She should have left at the start, right? When they denied that whatever.
Okay, I get
she's a
you.
teacher.
Okay, technically, yes, you're right. So both of you guys won. Okay, I got 2 fucking glove marks on my head right here. But
I got more.
But the thing is, though, it's like it was so like there wasn't some monster keeping her there. She was like, "You guys are fucking crazy. I'm gonna go home." And the movie ends. I'm like, "Fucking yeah!"
That ending was so bad. It's like an A24 movie where it's like, "Oh, we got nothing else. Okay, just cut the credits." Like what?
Let's not forget that girl killed herself because of all this bullshit.
Did she kill herself? Or she get murdered? I don't fucking know.
I'm under the belief that she killed herself, and I'm more than sure there's a rape in this movie.
No, you just assume there's rape everywhere.
Yeah, more than likely, like the whole thing, like she like all the stuff that's been going around the school, whatever, and like the talks that she had with the actual like I guess she was principal or dean. I'm not sure what the fuck she actually was.
He was the master.
No, literally, she's master bishop.
What the fuck is that?
She basically it's like every oh god.
No, it's like the United Kingdom's dean. Like that's what they call it.
Is it? I thought it was a situation where it's like the housing they were living in. She's basically like the head of the house.
Yeah, but isn't that what a dean would be in a collegiate facility?
No, because the dean is like almost like basically a principal, but just for a university. They're in charge of everybody. Where there's like separate houses where she's the master of the house.
Hey man, I don't even have my high school diploma, so.
You don't?
Well, I graduated, but they didn't give it to me because I broke the.
Oh, so you physically don't have it?
Yeah, I physically don't. But
I think I still have mine.
But you know what's great about my situation though is like I can literally bond with God and say, hey, I'll have a high school diploma too. And then if someone's like, yeah, you're stupid, Nick. I'll be like, well, because I graduated, so fuck you. I'm not stupid. So I can be on both sides. Alan's so proud of this. Look at that. He's gonna go.
No, I just realized I don't want to move all my fucking.
Wait, is it? Hey, Alan, is it too high up?
I'll kill you. It's not too high up, you fucking piece of shit.
Whoop that ass with some jokes.
Oh, I'll kill him.
Because he was like reaching out there for a while. Oh, sorry.
No, you're not. This fucking movie sucked, and so do your jokes.
No,
motherfucker. Why don't you go eat some maggots?
Why is your patience so little?
I don't want to know because now he's gonna get mad. Like,
I'm already mad.
He did a Negan head tilt, dude. He's just like, oh, like really? I'll whoop your ass.
Beat the shit out of you next time I see you.
Don't be so short with us, Alan.
I'll kill you.
Okay, he said short twice. Fuck you. No. Like, disqualified. Flag on the play. I said flag. Don't you dare.
Any fucking way. Let's get back to this shitty ass movie that I cannot believe this movie came out this year. This movie feels like it came out in fucking like 2004. with how just shitty its acting is, shitty its writing is, and its cinematography is about 3 or 4 different rooms. This movie costs about $5 to make. Like, I don't know what the fuck they spent any amount of money on, because all the acting is fucking terrible. Plots go absolutely fucking nowhere. Nobody gets any fucking development. Like, this is a waste of y'all's time.
Yeah, me, rating-wise, this is a 2 out of 5. Just because of the fact that, like, and I guess since we're doing spoilers, I'll talk about this and then give it right to Jet right afterwards. But the thing that was so frustrating for me is that this should have been a short film. Like, this would have been a really cool, like, 30-minute, like, skit on YouTube. Because it would have been, like, kind of creepy. Like, oh, shit, is it or isn't it? And blah, blah, blah. Is it ghost story? Is it folklore? Is it what? And this movie was like, hey, we got nothing to like film here. Like, this movie sucks. So let's just have a bunch of questionable content. Let's have a bunch of like questions and like creepiness, and it's a ghost story, but maybe it's a thriller, but maybe it's a murder, but maybe it's a blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, instead of having an ending, our twist can be the ending. And I hate when movies do that. Sometimes movies don't have an ending, or they don't have a twist. So they're like, hey, let's just have our ending be the twist. But really, it's just how you end the fucking story. But because you made it so questionable, man, and gave all these directions for the reader or the watcher or whatever to go in everywhere but the actual direction, now we're supposed to be like, oh shit, like, that was really clever. No, it's not clever, because you lied to me, movie, and said it was a ghost story, and then it was this thing and this thing, but you're lying about all of it. That doesn't give you extra points, extra credit, because I didn't know that you're going to be fucking bullshitting. This movie's full of bullshit. So, yeah, dude, I gotta tell you, like, yeah, I hate that about this movie as a 2 out of fucking 5. Jet, take it away. What'd you feel about that particular aspect of the movie, as well as your rating and anything that you want to add on there?
But I gotta be honest here. Every time we get a movie like this, I just gotta be like, girl, I didn't go to school for this. I can't fucking like dissect this movie and tell you why like all the fucking red lights in the fucking movie appear, or fucking like what exactly like the fucking monster represents, or like why the door was red. I don't know any of that shit. I don't have a fucking degree in fucking American literature or a fucking film school, whatever. I can't just go here and just like, the cinematography is actually very unique in this one particular sense of the movie. I don't know any of that shit. I didn't go to school for that at all. So like, if there's some really deep meaning in this movie, I'm not gonna get it. My IQ is like 37. I'm not gonna get that shit. So my whole thing is just like, I know what they're trying to do with the movie. Like, obviously it was a race story. Obvious thing that goes along with when it comes to colleges, whatever, the epidemic of racism in colleges and how people tend to look over that type of stuff. There's stuff like this that happens in colleges literally all the time, and it gets looked over or whatever. And in this movie, like, yeah, I basically see what's going on. Like, this woman was basically just put in her spot, not because of what she, like, her qualities or whatever, and what she can do. It's literally just so, like, they can just say, like, oh, we have a black person here. Like, our college can't be racist or whatever. So she's basically a scapegoat. That's why the fucking things of like the maid, the fucking mammy shit pop up and just, and at the end of the movie, she's just like, I'm your guys' maid. Like, I'm a fucking mammy. Like, I'm literally covering for you guys. And this girl literally just killed herself. And you guys are here fucking learning to fucking twerk by this woman who may or may not be fucking black. I honestly don't think she is, because she is giving off very, 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 very weird vibes.
Yeah.
And just like, I get it. Like, it makes sense. But at the same time, watching this as a movie didn't do it for me at all. I was not sports entertained.
Was it EA Sports in the game at least?
If it was EA Sports, it would be something.
That hasn't been a thing for 10 fucking years. I don't think EA Sports is around.
But this movie, it just like, I think I feel like it should have just either stuck to being a drama story, or like a dramatic story about like the stuff that either happens like during like these colleges, like on these campuses, the racist stuff that happens here, or should have stuck with being 100% like a thriller or a horror. Like, yeah. I feel like mixing the two kind of muddled the message or whatever, because like the whole time you see all this stuff, you're just like, oh my god, when's the monster coming out? Like, is there real? Is there fucking an actual like?
Is it gonna be like an undead slaver?
Like a fucking witch coming out or whatever? Like, is there actually a witch like coming out and killing her? It's just like, man, this shit's reminding me of that fucking movie Bug. And I'm getting real fucking mad.
I'm sorry about that.
Fuck you. And it's just like, I really do feel like they kind of dropped the ball on this one, like as like not sticking with at least one sort of thing, because mixing two together just did not work for me in this. It it got interesting in parts, but then when you want more of those parts to go on, like it just kind of just abruptly be like, yeah, we're not expanding on that more. Figure it out, bitch. And I'm just like, I can't figure it out. Like, I'm a normal person. I don't have the brain capacity to even think larger than the fucking surface level. I can't. I don't know. Just tell me the reason. What was the reason? And it's just like, with that, I think there's certain aspects of the horror side that actually works pretty well. Like the stuff with the maggots, it's just like, okay, why exactly is that there? Turns out there's no reason it's there. There's no reason. They just do it for like a little jump scare thing. It's just like, unless once again, I don't have no degree in this shit. Maybe it's supposed to mean more. Like maybe the maggots are supposed to be more, and I didn't fucking figure it out. But it kind of just stopped there, and I honestly thought that part actually looked really good. I wish they would have did a little bit more with that, but they didn't. They fucking didn't. And I'm literally here just waiting for more, and I don't get it. So, like, I couldn't give this movie more than a 2. Like I said, like, I do feel like some of the twists that they do in the movie, like, what happens with one of the main characters, that's like, I didn't expect it to go that way. I mean, that's, I'll give them points for doing that, but at the same time, like, once it focuses on, like, 100% on the other characters, kind of like, I don't care anymore. I'm really just ready for this to end because they're not answering nothing. I don't get why they chose certain routes to take. I can't do this. So I'll have to give this a 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. All right. Yeah, we're pretty much on the same boat there. Ganja Guru!
Yeah.
What's you rate this movie? Anything you want to say about it afterwards?
Shit, this is about a 1 out of 5 for me. I didn't really care about the story. That Rachel Dolezal ended with some bullshit, and the fact that they use racial disparity and racial hierarchy inside academia as a motivation for the story plot is kind of fucking ridiculous. Especially when they especially like what's going on right now with a lot of colleges, just people of color dealing with like the hardship of either just getting done with academics or dealing with racist professors that don't believe their actual like plight when it comes to dealing with prejudice on campus, and to use this as a story plot and just use it half-assedly, this movie sucks ass for me.
I love that. The movie sucks ass for me. Alan, sorry, I was gonna call you God. Don't
you dare give him that.
I am the Lord,
and he is short.
Aw. Man,
I
called you God. He called you short. See, that's how good of a friend I am.
Unlike your fucking cholesterol, I'm pretty low to the ground.
Oh,
Wait,
him.
what? Hold on.
Yeah.
Why would I want my cholesterol to be high above the ground? That's still bad.
Dude, is it bad that
You
I kind of
completely
forgot?
missed.
Yeah, I kind of forgot like what's good about cholesterol. Like, is it?
No, cholesterol. You want cholesterol low. That's the joke.
Okay.
So, unlike your cholesterol.
All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Wow, good thing I'm not a doctor. But Alan, what would you say about this movie?
Neither is he.
I don't know what crack y'all coming out with 1s and 2s. This movie fucking sucked. If I could give this lower than a fucking 1, I guess 0.5 is fuck. I'll get there. I don't know what I give the fucking 0.5 to. There's absolutely nothing in this movie that I liked or found interesting or found cool. Oh, the dream sequence, which was fucking stupid. She sleepwalks, but that never really gets any fucking play. I can't tell what the movie wants me to think the main character is. Either the actress who keeps saying on the entire fucking review or Jasmine. I can't tell who is supposed to be the main fucking character because they just forget about as soon as the person's off screen, it's like they forget they're in the fucking movie. All of the actors are fucking terrible and have absolutely nothing to fucking work with. The movie doesn't know what the fuck it wants to be. Either it wants to be what Gandhi said, to be a deep, look into racism in academia where the white elite won't let anybody in unless they get to these unreasonable standards, but that never seems to fucking go anywhere. Or it's like what Jet said, it's supposed to be some sort of thriller ghost story, but that gets brought up randomly and the movie gets bored. Like, every now and then she picks up something that's like, this cookie jar that's clearly like blackface with the whole red lips and everything, and it's like that fucking really goes nowhere because she doesn't sit there and be like, maybe this school fucking sucks, a place that she's been here for fucking at least a decade or whatever because she got tenure. It's like I don't know what this movie wanted to do, and I think this movie wants to pretend that it's deeper than it actually is, but everything they're doing is surface level. Hell, the only time she ever really goes to fucking class, they're doing the English bullshit of what does that mean, and she answers the question and the English teacher goes, fuck you, you're wrong. And then the white person answers and goes, yeah, that's right. And then she accuses the teacher of racism because that's the immediate fucking thing you do when you answer the question incorrectly. It's like, it doesn't know what it wants to do, and it stumbles from one scene to the next, where it feels like 30 minutes of this movie was cut out because they just started filming random bullshit, and the editor was like, I don't fucking know what I'm doing. Fuck it. This is a bunch of bullshit, and we'll make this seem like it's a fucking horror movie where it's not a horror movie. It's not a thriller. It's honestly might be a comedy with how shitty everything's fucking put together. This is 0.5. And I don't know what to give it 0.5 to. Don't ask me. I have no idea. Just cut the credits.
I was great. I'm proud of all of us on this day.
Just cut the credits, man.
But yeah, well, that was Master. I'm so sorry, Gene.
By the way, when Nick told me go watch Master, I thought it was that movie Master Commander, or that other movie Master where like some dude like has all these like traps and shit or whatever.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Someone in the chat that were talking about Master of Disguise.
Are we supposed to review that movie?
I feel like we are.
No, that movie's terrible.
That movie's fucking horrible, man. I've seen it before. That movie is fucking awful.
I remember as a kid, I wanted to watch it just because the trailer made it look really fucking funny. And then years later, I finally got to watch it. I'm like, oh, this movie fucking sucks.
Oh, Gene. Okay, cool. He says he gives it a 2.52. All right, perfect.
2.5 for what?
I give it a 2 out of 5. I understand.
That's the highest rating here, and I don't fucking know why.
The Master by Paul Thomas Anderson.
I think that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Anyways, well, that being said, though, guys, we're going to get out of here. What you call it? Tell them because I don't want to talk.
You can find me here. Still getting some shit ready, but it's gonna be a while for a stream again, so I apologize for that. But I'll let you guys know as soon as I come up with a proper schedule.
Gotcha.
Always check me out at Red Gotcha Crew on my Twitter, and soon we're gonna have a discussion this Wednesday about bringing back the United podcast. So I'll keep you updated on that.
Oh, people. With that said. I don't know, my fucking throat. What am I gonna do? Oh, guys, show the ending thing. Yeah, there. All right, guys.
Yeah, you didn't learn anything from Master. You're supposed to end it abruptly for no reason.
Goodbye, people. You guys are awesome.
Shitty fucking movie.
Those good vibrations.
Don't raise your hand. This isn't high school, bitch. I was being polite.
Wait,
Bitch, you
what?
were being a bitch.
Remember, she fucking got mad at the girl for fucking.
That's why